Yo, what the fuck is up, guys? It's Senpai Bush 911 here. And today's video is going to be very interesting because we have today, as you can tell by the thumbnail, who is more evil with Griffith from Berserk and Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's going to be a crazy video, you guys. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. And just to put it out there, this isn't gonna be a anime fight, and there is no definitive right or wrong answer here. So just so everyone's clear that Dio or Griffith do not slam each other in a fight, and also that this is just my opinion. So if anyone gets triggered by any of this, I'm sorry, but you know, it is what it is. So enjoy. Just so we keep this unhinged, we're gonna start off with Griffith today, and Griffith's story is kind of really simple actually. So Griffith came from a broken home who couldn't even eat bread at sometimes during the day. He would steal things from people, like tools and trinkets and things and symbolize them as small victories. He would get more ambitious, as most children would, and that would kind of help Griffith become a war leader as his time goes on. During his beginning of ruling the Band of the Hawk, he was really humble and disturbingly selfless at times. He would give himself to rich men so that his band would be able to eat and sleep for the night. He came across a younger warrior named Guts during another battle of his, and Guts got mad at them for some reason, and Guts ended up losing a fight with Griffith for his freedom. And then as years passed, Guts would single-handedly almost win and carry the army for them the entire time. And then after a Midland leading victory, Griffith and Princess Charlotte would have a conversation about a fountain, and Guts would overhear this conversation and understand that Griffith has no actual feelings for any of the members, and that they are just tools for his success. And that's this bleak opposite of what Griffith felt like in the early on years of those early Band of the Hawk days. So Guts would try to leave the Band of the Hawk, so they end up dueling, and this would send Griffith into a mental breakdown that would eventually turn him into Femto. I'm not going to explain how that happens. I'm just going to say this and this happened. You know. He would slaughter all Band of the Hawk members besides Guts and Casca to do so, though. So as a kind of a reflection of how Griffith plays this out, Griffith's personality really changes throughout the story, going from an actual hero to a person who suffers from greed and ego a lot of the time. He won't really let anyone get in his way, and that's kind of a really childish way of thinking, especially considering when his one only goal is to have his own kingdom. That's you hear a 7-year-old boy say that when he's got plastic knight armor on. He would deflect blame onto others for his reasoning of murdering the Band of the Hawk, and just say, oh, it's because of my dream. I'd also understand that Griffith's ego needs that protection, because deep down he's no longer within his own composure. And you kind of see that Griffith breaks his composure a lot during the end of Berserk, where because he doesn't have the things that guarantee his dream is a success, he loses himself a lot of the time. And I think that's something that's also really childish and reflects his personality and how actually very mentally unstable he is. He's like lost his sense of self and now will do anything to seem above the common folk. And you can even symbolize that in the media when Griffith and Princess are talking at the fountain. They are like seen above Guts, even though Guts has done like all the dirty work for Griffith and has like assassinated and murdered innocent people. Griffith is now like the actual definition of selfish in this sense, which here's the definition of selfish right here. Dio Brando was born in 1867 to Dario Brando, an abusive and alcoholic father who murdered Dio's mother, and Dio would despise his father for doing so and would kill Dario and then move to the Joestar's estate. He would also pledge an eternal war against all Joestars and nothing but the Joestars, becoming a vampire and creating a network of evil henchmen that would try and thwart the Joestars' lives for actual centuries. Dio's personality doesn't necessarily change throughout his life because he's only respecting Jonathan Joestar during their fight before burning down the estate. But Dio's physical resolve is what really makes him impressive, because he seems to just live on the willpower of the hatred of the Joestars. Dio just has no sense of moral judgment nor any sense of empathy or sympathy, and we understand this almost immediately knowing him, because he goes as far as stealing the first kiss of Jonathan Joestar's partner. Dio from the very beginning hated Jonathan and the Joestars and begins to show so from the start. He killed Jojo's dog, killed his father, burned down his house, stealing Arena's first kiss. Everyone that supports the Joestars understands Dio's evil, and Dio understands he's evil and his righteous path to exterminating the Joestars. Dio doesn't neglect blame of his actions, he just takes pride in them. But there is some respect to be given if you have so, because even if it is Dio, Griffith would deflect the blame onto others for his reasoning of murdering the Band of the Hawk and live his dream. People understand that Griffith's ego needs that protection, whereas Dio has always just been 100% selfish the entire time. Dio sacrificed his own cult for his goals, but they were already under the presumption to die for Dio for that matter. They understood the scenario, whereas Griffith tricked and forced them into being sacrificed. I believe that is the difference, and why Griffith is more evil than Dio, but Dio is probably the only villain to even come close to as evil as Griffith. If this is my opinion on the matter, I think Griffith is more evil than Dio. I see manipulation and betrayal to be like way more evil, and this is why. Because if you sacrifice your entire family, essentially betraying everyone that you've ever known, just for one simple childish goal, it seems really obscene. And he's gotten innocent people and political figures killed just for that. If you're not like entirely honest on the situation, it seems, very slimy, and some would say like devilish like to do so. Whereas Dio, just from the get-go, was very honest in his hatred, and the only people that he really manipulated were people that were open to being manipulated and had like a Stockholm syndrome of sorts. I just kind of, I don't know, valuing honesty in my opinion is a little more important here, but at the same time I understand why people would say Dio is more evil than Griffith, because if you do have the resolve and the charisma to be openly evil like that, you understand that person is above unnecessary evil and should be completely avoided at all costs. It's just in my opinion that someone as slimy and as dark can sacrifice their whole family without telling them for something as childish as being a king. So in my personal opinion, and to finalize the video, I'm going to say that Griffith is more evil than Dio with the evidence gathered here. But I do understand, and in honesty, I would say Dio is more evil just for the sake of how sadistic he actually is. But I'm only putting Griffith above Dio for the sake of being as childish as being a king just to murder hundreds of people, including people that saw him as like a father figure or a big brother of sorts, and also committing some pretty heinous acts as well just to be a king. That's why I put Griffith above Dio. But in my own personal opinion, I think like sadistic honesty is like really evil. But I understand if people get mad at me for putting Griffith above Dio just in that instance. And I agree with the Dio stance. So yeah. Well guys, that's gonna conclude it for this video. Please tell me in the comments whether you hated this video or whether you liked it. If you want to see something similar, maybe two different antagonists, maybe it doesn't have to be anime, maybe it could be storybook characters. Let me know in the comments. If you give me it, I may possibly do a video on it. Hope you guys have a great day. Do not forget to like, comment, share this video around with your friends. Says Ben Me out of here.